Thank you for purchasing the Magliner SS Hand Truck. This step-by-step video will help you get your hand truck rolling in no time. Be sure you have the tools required to assemble your product. A copy of all product assembly instructions are available at magliner.com. It's helpful to use a workbench or table of convenient height and place all components in view and within reach. It may also be helpful to assemble the hand truck oriented face down. A knockdown SS hand truck box typically contains one frame, one handle, one nose, two wheels, one completion pack, and one kickstand pack. The completion pack will vary based on the SS hand truck model ordered. Depending on your nose selection, the box may include the 86029 nose mounting kit. The box will also contain any additional hand truck accessories included in the truck's model number. Slide the side channel reinforcements into the long legs of the frame. Make sure to position the reinforcements so the bottom half contains more holes than the top half. If your hand truck has a die-cast nose, slide the legs and reinforcements over the nose heel. Place the right hand wheel bracket against the outside of the frame. Insert two 5/16-18 by 2-inch long hex head bolts through the wheel bracket, frame, reinforcements, and nose. Secure with two 5/16-18 lock nuts. Finger tighten only for now. All hardware, except for what is used for the kickstand assembly, will be found in the 301034 hardware pack and any handle hardware packs. If your hand truck has an extruded or a steel nose, a rubber bumper is installed to prevent over-rotation of the kickstand assembly. Insert the screw through the front of the nose plate, slide on the rubber bumper, secure with the 1/4 inch -20 lock nut, tighten to 50 to 60 inch-pounds torque. Please note that the bolt length will depend on whether the nose is extruded aluminum or steel, and whether or not the frame has a vertical strap. Your SS truck will be packaged with the correct bolt for your configuration. If your hand truck has an extruded or a steel nose, the nose will need to be fastened onto brackets before mounting to the frame. Only flush mount extruded and steel noses are compatible with the SS truck. Fasten the brackets to the back of the heel using the hardware provided in the nose mounting kit. Leave the fastener slightly loose and slide the frame legs and reinforcements over the nose brackets. Place the right hand wheel bracket against the outside of the frame. Insert two 5/16-18 by 2-inch long hex head bolts through the wheel bracket, frame, reinforcements, and nose. Secure with two 5/16-18 lock nuts, finger tighten only for now. Use the components within the kickstand kit to assemble the parts onto the kickstand axle. Take two 1-inch long roll pins from the kickstand pack and insert them into the inner holes of the axle. Use a hammer to center the pins through the axle. Some components of the kickstand need plastic-safe lubricant applied before assembly. Apply lubricant to the jagged side of the kickstand lever and to the jagged side of the cam. Lubricant must also be applied to both sides of the nylon washer supplied in the kickstand kit. Next, slide the kickstand cam onto the axle, followed by the kickstand lever. The two jagged faces of these parts should mate. Slide a thin metal washer onto the axle, followed by the nylon washer. Next, slide one thick metal washer, the kickstand spring, and another thick washer. Insert the side with the two roll pins into the right-hand wheel bracket, making sure the roll pin locks into place in the wheel bracket. The kickstand lever should be pointing downward, below the edge of the hand truck nose. Leave in place for now. Take this time to insert the 1 1/8 inch long roll pins into the inner holes of the longer axle, which is used for the 8-inch or 10-inch wheels. Use a hammer to center the pins through the axle. There are 5 locations on the wheel bracket where the main wheel axle can be inserted. The placement of the axle determines the angle of the truck's frame in the reclined position. Use this chart to help determine which axle placement is best for your typical load type. In general, low and heavy loads may work best when the frame is set with the larger angle off vertical. Tall shallow loads may work best when the frame is set up with a smaller angle off vertical. For loads of medium height and weight, angles in between 35 and 40 degrees may be optimal. Please note that the frame angle also depends on the diameter of the main wheel, so please plan accordingly. If you have questions about the best axle position to use, please call Magline. Insert the axle into the right-hand wheel bracket in the desired location and rotate the axle until the roll pin locks into place in the wheel bracket. Slide the left-hand wheel bracket onto both axles. Insert two 5/16-18 by 2-inch long hex head bolts through the wheel bracket, frame, reinforcements, and nose. Make sure the roll pin locks into place in the wheel bracket. Secure the wheel bracket bolts with two 5/16-18 lock nuts. Finger tighten only for now. Be sure that the notches on the bottom of the support arms face toward each other. Install the bottom of the support arms to the wheel brackets with 5/16-18 by 1 1/4 inch long hex head screws and 5/16 inch lock nuts. Finger tighten only for now. Rotate the free end of the support arms up toward the frame. Place the support clamp body and support clamp jaw around the frame. Install the support clamp body and support clamp jaw to the support arms. Loosely fasten with 5/16-18 by 1 1/2 inch long hex head bolts and 5/16-18 lock nuts. Place the lift bar between the support arms in the circular notches. If a hole does not exist in the red stripe for the hardware, use a screwdriver to punch a hole through the stripe, using the support clamp body as a template. Fasten with 1/4-20 by 3/4 inch long panhead machine screw and 1/4-20 lock nuts. Check all components assembled so far for proper location. Make any adjustments required. Securely tighten all bolts at this time, including the nose and wheel bracket bolts. Securely tighten the 5/16-18 fasteners to 120 to 140 inch-pounds of torque. If you have an extruded or steel nose, securely tighten the fasteners connecting the nose brackets to the nose to 120 to 140 inch-pounds of torque. Tighten any 1/4 inch-20 fasteners to 50 to 60 inch-pounds torque. Slide one thick washer onto each end of the shorter axle just behind the frame so that the washers sit against the wheel bracket. Then slide one thin washer onto the axle on both sides. Slide one multi-directional wheel onto each end of the axle. Slide one thin washer onto both ends of the axle so that they sit against the multi-directional wheels. Please note that you may use a different configuration of washers than what is shown. Use whatever combination minimizes side-to-side movement of the wheels on the axle. Insert a cotter pin through the hole on the end of the axle and spread the ends of the cotter pin apart using needle nose pliers. Repeat this sequence for the second wheel. The 301034 hardware pack comes with an assortment of thick and thin washers to ensure a tight fit of the larger wheels onto the axle. For 815 wheels only, slide one thick 5/8 inch washer onto the axle. For 1070, 1075, and 1080 wheels, slide two thick 5/8 inch washers onto the axle. For all other wheels, slide one thick 5/8 inch and one thin 5/8 inch washer onto the axle. Slide a wheel onto the axle, making sure the long hub portion is toward or next to the wheel bracket. Slide one thin 5/8 inch washer onto the axle. If required, a second thin washer is provided to shim the wheel for a tighter fit. Please note that you may use a different configuration of washers than what is shown. Use whatever combination will give a tight fit between the final washer and the cotter pin hole on the axle. Insert a cotter pin through the hole on the end of the axle and spread the ends of the cotter pin apart using needle nose pliers. Repeat this sequence for the second wheel. Place black frame caps on frame. Position the handle between the frame rails and line up holes. If your hand truck was ordered with a high U frame extension or a short U brace, Gently squeeze the ends of the frame extension and place the extension between the handle. Use the hardware in the 80112 fastener pack for this assembly. If your truck has both a frame extension and a short U-brace, the short U-brace would fit inside the frame extension. Use the hardware in the 80114 fastener pack for assembly. Line up all holes. Fasten with 4 1/4 inch -20 panhead screws and hex head lock nuts. Securely tighten these screws to 50 to 60 inch-pounds torque. Your SS truck comes with loading instructions stripe. It will be placed on the front of the bottom cross brace if there is no vertical strap on the front of the frame. If there is a strap, it will be placed on the back of the bottom cross brace. Make sure the groove on the cross brace is clean and free of debris. Place the top end of a stripe against the cross brace and carefully slide the stripe up underneath the top groove. Line up the bottom end of the stripe against the cross brace and gently guide the stripe so that the bottom edge slides into the bottom groove. It may be helpful to use a thin flat object such as a credit card to help guide the stripe into place. For polymer cross braces without grooves, apply the supplied adhesive label to the cross brace. You are now ready to put your Magliner to work.
With the value, quality, and innovation of Magliner.